A story like this one, where a manager panicked over a millionaire's Mandarin and the maid responded fluently in perfect Chinese, carries a powerful lesson about hidden talent and misplaced judgment. Society often mislabels people based on their appearance, job title, or background, forgetting that true ability cannot be seen on the surface. The manager, representing authority and expectation, was thrown into confusion when confronted with a language barrier he couldn't navigate. The millionaire, powerful and confident, expected someone capable of responding at his level. Yet the one who stepped forward was not the manager, not the person in charge, but the maid, someone society had placed at the bottom. With calmness and precision, she broke the stereotype by speaking in flawless Mandarin, leaving everyone stunned. The beauty of this story lies in its reversal of expectations. The manager, likely trained and respected, faltered under pressure, exposing the reality that authority does not always equal competence. The maid, on the other hand, who had been overlooked and underestimated, rose to the occasion, showing that true capability lies within individuals who are often invisible in the eyes of others. In a single moment, the hierarchy of status collapsed. The person with the least social power revealed herself as the most prepared, the most skilled, and the most surprising. This moment reflects a common truth society is quick to underestimate. People look at someone's clothes, job title, or role and assume they know their worth. A maid is expected to clean, not to converse with millionaires in their native language. But assumptions are dangerous because they blind us to the depth of human potential. The maid's mastery of Mandarin proves that greatness, intelligence, and skill exist everywhere, even in places we least expect. It is not the role that defines the person. It is the person who defines the role. The panic of the manager adds to the lesson. His reaction shows how unprepared many leaders are when faced with challenges outside their comfort zone. He likely felt embarrassment, fearing judgment from the millionaire. In contrast, the maid showed confidence, calmness, and capability. This contrast highlights that leadership is not about title, but about courage and readiness. When faced with pressure, the true leader was not the manager but the maid, who rose above expectations and delivered what was needed without hesitation. For the millionaire, the moment must have been eye-opening. He came expecting business and communication, not a revelation about hidden brilliance. Hearing his native language spoken perfectly by someone he least expected disrupted his assumptions. That shock teaches us that power and wealth do not give you the ability to measure another person's true value. In fact, it often blinds you to the richness of potential that exists in people you overlook daily. The maid's fluency in Mandarin humbled the room, proving that wisdom, skill, and intelligence cannot be contained by social rank. This story also touches on themes of resilience and preparation. The maid did not acquire Mandarin overnight. It required study, discipline, and persistence. Yet she carried that skill quietly, unnoticed, until the right moment revealed it. This is a reminder that preparation, even when unseen, eventually meets opportunity. Many people work silently on themselves, sharpening skills the world may not acknowledge, until one day, those skills change everything. Her ability to stay ready allowed her to seize the moment that shocked everyone else. The lesson here is universal. Never underestimate anyone. The people society dismisses may hold extraordinary knowledge, strength, or gifts. The maid's fluency is a symbol of hidden excellence, waiting for a chance to be seen. It shows that titles and positions are shallow measures of worth. A manager may panic, a millionaire may demand, but true power lies with the one who is prepared, humble, and skilled. In that room, the balance of respect shifted instantly because the maid proved through action what others could not. Stories like this remind us that success is not about looking powerful, but about being capable. It challenges us to see beyond roles and appearances and to treat every person with dignity. Because the truth is, we never know the greatness that lies within them. Hidden talent breaking stereotypes is the core of this story because it reminds us that human potential cannot be measured by appearances, titles, or social roles. The maid, someone dismissed as a background figure, someone expected to remain silent and invisible, stunned everyone when she spoke flawless Mandarin to the millionaire. In that single moment, the stereotypes surrounding her shattered, and the assumptions made by those around her were exposed as shallow and misguided. People tend to box others in, assuming they know what a person is capable of simply by looking at their job, skin color, or place in society. But true skill and intelligence have no such boundaries. The maid's mastery of Mandarin was proof that extraordinary ability can exist in the most unexpected places. Stereotypes are built on lazy assumptions. They are society's shortcut for labeling people without truly seeing them. A maid is supposed to clean, not converse fluently with a powerful businessman in his native language. A person from a marginalized background is often unfairly assumed to lack sophistication or education. But when the maid opened her mouth and responded with perfect Chinese, she dismantled those assumptions with undeniable evidence of her brilliance. That moment was powerful not only because of her fluency, but because it forced everyone in the room to confront the gap between who they thought she was and who she actually was. This story teaches that hidden talent often goes unseen because people don't bother to look deeply enough. Many workers in humble roles carry knowledge, skills, or wisdom that the world never acknowledges. They may not have the platform to display their gifts, or they may choose to remain quiet, letting others underestimate them. But when the right opportunity arrives, when pressure exposes the truth, hidden talent shines brighter than anything else. The maid didn't just surprise the millionaire and the manager. She changed the way they would forever see her, and perhaps even how they would view others in similar roles. There is also something inspiring about the way talent reveals itself without needing validation. The maid did not wait for applause or recognition. Her skill existed long before the situation arose. She had prepared, studied, and mastered Mandarin quietly, carrying that gift within herself even when no one else valued it. This demonstrates the power of self-belief and discipline. You do not need the world's permission to develop your talent. You simply need the will to prepare, so that when life presents the moment, you are ready to shine. The maid's hidden talent was not created in that moment. It was revealed because she had been ready all along. By breaking stereotypes, the maid's actions also carry a larger message about equality. Society often assumes intelligence belongs to those in suits, speaking from boardrooms or holding high positions. But her ability proved that knowledge and brilliance are not tied to wealth or status. They can be found in anyone, anywhere. This reversal of expectations is powerful because it humbles those who look down on others. The millionaire, used to commanding respect, had to confront the fact that the person who surprised him most was someone society considered beneath him. That shock carries an important lesson. Never measure a person's worth by their role or background, because talent knows no boundaries. Hidden talent breaking stereotypes is also about empowerment. For the maid, that moment was not just about speaking Mandarin. It was about claiming her place in a space where no one expected her voice to matter. Every stereotype that said she was less capable dissolved in the face of her skill. In one action, she redefined herself not as a maid defined by her job, but as a capable, intelligent individual who demanded recognition. This is the power of hidden talent. It transforms perception and gives dignity where society tries to strip it away. The story also challenges us personally. How many times have we judged others by the surface? How many times have we dismissed someone because of their role without realizing what they carry within? The maid's example forces us to look deeper, to treat every person with respect, because hidden within them might be greatness that we cannot yet see. It also challenges us to nurture our own hidden talents, to prepare quietly and consistently, so that when the moment comes, we too can break stereotypes and prove that labels do not define us. The maid's flawless Mandarin was more than just language. It was a statement that brilliance cannot be contained by stereotypes, that true talent shines no matter where it is found, and that the world underestimates people at its own loss. Hidden talent is the silent strength that waits for the right moment to rewrite the narrative, and when it appears, it not only changes the way others see us, but also the way society sees possibility itself. Hidden talent breaking stereotypes is a lesson that reminds us not to judge a person by what we see on the surface. In the story, the maid was seen as someone whose only role was to serve, clean, and remain unnoticed in the background. People around her, including the manager and the millionaire, assumed that she had no skills beyond her job description. That is what stereotypes do. They create an image of someone that is smaller than their true self, a box that limits how others perceive them. Yet when the maid opened her mouth and spoke perfect Mandarin, a language that even the manager could not handle, every assumption about her identity and ability shattered instantly. In that moment, the very image of who a maid could be was rewritten. What makes this powerful is how it confronts the blindness of stereotypes. Society often assigns value based on roles, appearance, or background. If someone works in a prestigious office, we assume they must be smart and capable. If someone wears a uniform and does menial work, we assume they lack sophistication or education. These ideas are not based on truth, but on narrow judgments. The maid's talent was invisible until the moment demanded it, and when it emerged, it challenged everyone's shallow perception. This is the nature of hidden talent. It sits quietly, often ignored, until the right situation forces it to reveal itself. And when it does, it turns the entire narrative upside down. The maid's fluency in Mandarin was not just about knowing a language. It symbolized preparation, discipline, and resilience. She had clearly invested time and effort into mastering a skill that most people never expected of her. This shows how hidden talent is often nurtured in silence, away from applause or recognition. Many people develop themselves behind the scenes, while the world underestimates them. And when the opportunity finally comes, their readiness exposes the gap between who people thought they were and who they truly are. The maid was not defined by her job, but by her commitment to grow, and that is why her ability became so striking. There is also a universal truth in her story. Everyone carries something that others don't see. Too often, hidden talent is overlooked because people don't bother to look deeper, to ask, or to imagine that someone might hold more than meets the eye. The millionaire likely thought the maid was invisible, someone beneath his attention, but she held the one skill that changed the dynamic of the entire situation. This flips the script on who truly holds value in a moment of crisis. The one underestimated the most became the one who saved the day. Hidden talent breaking stereotypes also teaches humility to those who judge. For the manager, who panicked under pressure, it was a reminder that a title does not equal competence. For the millionaire, it was a wake-up call that greatness does not always sit at the head of the table. It might be standing quietly in the corner, waiting for the right time. And for the maid, It was a chance to step into her own power, to be recognized not as a background figure, but as someone with undeniable skill. That reversal of roles is what makes the story so impactful. This lesson applies to our daily lives as well. How often do we assume that people in low positions have little to offer? How often do we underestimate someone simply because they don't fit the image of success? The maid's example urges us to look again, to understand that brilliance has no boundaries, and that respect should be given universally, because we never know what someone carries within. It also challenges us personally. Are we preparing in silence, developing our hidden talents, so that when the moment comes, we can rise above the stereotypes placed on us? Her story reveals that hidden talent is not just about skill, but about timing. A gift that stays silent still holds power, but when it is revealed at the right moment, it becomes transformative. The maid's flawless Mandarin wasn't just a surprise. It was a declaration that people cannot be reduced to stereotypes, and that greatness is often disguised in places where no one expects to find it. Hidden talent breaks the walls of judgment, forces respect, and redefines what is possible for those who are willing to see beyond the surface.